Another beautiful story in this book that's recounted in the epistolary between Saint Sophrony of E- the monastery of Essex, the Orthodox monastery of Essex, and David Balfour, in which she's telling them about being careful about the nostalgia of past sins. It's very easy to do that, isn't it? You know, the old Adam within us, the uncrucified corners of our souls. And there's a striking story in this that Saint Sophrony relates of a couple that approached him asking for prayers. He doesn't mention them by name to keep their anonymity, but he goes to the hospital. They ask for his prayers, and he prays with them with much joy and hope. And the woman is dying of cancer, and she's cured, and the doctors are nonplussed. But he says, look, before he even prays for her, he says, look, be careful, because if God grants a miracle of healing, it's in order for a great change of life. You cannot stay the same afterwards. Well, anyway, when she got cured, it was back to business as usual: travel, leisure, visiting museums, theaters, tourism. And Saint Sophrony felt sad, and they had this kind of universalist approach to life, you know. All roads lead to Rome, all religions are equal, and I think it was a bit of Buddhism and things going on, and different things are recounted in the tale. Anyway, between the long and the short of it, she ends up getting the cancer again, and again they come to Saint Sophrony, please pray for her. She's had a relapse and all the rest of it. Saint Sophrony felt sad this time, like, I don't know if it's going to work, you know. I don't know if the prayer will be heard. When God grants a miracle of healing, he expects a change of life, and be careful is the message about falling into the nostalgia of past sinfulness, past recklessness with a life at the margin of God. And that very much spoke to me. You know, it's easy to get into nostalgia about our past, nostalgic ways of an Adam that has been crucified in the waters of baptism and through our embracing of the faith. And we must see that through until the very end. May God help us to do so. It's a beautiful book, this, Striving for Knowledge of God, a correspondence with ex-Roman Catholic and monk Benedictine David Balfour, who goes to Athos, becomes an Orthodox monk, gets to know Saint Silouan and Saint Sophrony. Saint Sophrony becomes like his spiritual father for many years, goes through all kinds of adventures, you know. He comes out of the Orthodox monastic world, gets married to a Jew, and, you know, then becomes a traveling Protestant with a group of traveling Protestants. And yeah, I can definitely relate to his restlessness and crazy search, and the advice that Saint Sophrony gives him all the way along is beautiful. Um, Saint Sophrony never abandoned him, never judges him, treats him with impeccable respect, um, and also gives great tips and insights, great tips on the spiritual life, and great insights into his own spiritual life. There we go. God bless you.